and take a seat, however it is. If it's on a chair, or if it's on your knees, or if it's sitting cross-legged, and just come into, if you like, the yoga zone. So it's Sunday morning. It's the end of the first month of the year. Who can believe it? Time is standing still in one way, but time never stands still in another way. It's always going on. So let's just enjoy the time we have, the present moment. No more precious moment than the present moment. Because in a lot of ways, that's all we have. That's all we have. So closing your eyes, softening the skin on the face, allowing the tension to just melt away. So nothing aggressive at all in this practice today. We will flow with the breath. We will exhale more fully. We will extend the exhale, because then this in itself is really good for relieving tension and burden. This is why we naturally sigh. So maybe putting more emphasis on the exhalation this morning, so we don't feel tense, we don't feel burdened, relieving ourselves of the burden of carrying the world on our shoulders. Because it's actually not our burden. We have to look after our own side of the street, sweep our own side of the street. With your eyes closed, with your spine long, with your collarbones broad and open, with your shoulders softly melting down, with the crown of your head rising upwards, and the sit bones, or maybe the knees, depending on how you are sitting, are really feeling grounded and supported by the earth. Just a few moments of quiet sitting. Being patient with yourself, being patient with the practice. Allowing your mind to move inside, to look inside. Not always pointing the finger at others, but pointing at yourself. What is going on inside? Nice soft breath. In and out through the nostrils. No need to grip the breath. No need to grasp. Just trusting that all will be well. Trusting that if you do your best, the rest will take care of itself. In your practice and in your life and in the world, do your best and trust the rest to your higher power, to the divine, to God. To whoever you turn to when you can no longer do things on your own. When life becomes unmanageable, when you have to trust your higher power, when you have to trust something that is greater than you. Bring your hands to your heart. And blink your eyes open and come into the room. So this morning we're going to practice a slow flow. We will be moving along the mat. A lot of it is for this purpose. We're going to sort of celebrate the full moon that was this week. I mean, I tend to like to do at least one practice a month that is in honor of the moon energy, the feminine energy, the silver energy, the apanic energy. Because we have natural biorhythms, And these are in line with the cosmos, with the universe, with the earth. We're made up of the same elements, minerals, all of those things exist in us as they exist in nature. And I think it is really nice to honor the moon's energy once a month, because that is when sometimes new beginnings start to occur, either at the new moon, which we call the black moon sometimes, or at the full moon, which we had this week. So it is going to be a kind of moon salutation, which can be done in the evening because it does cool the whole energy down, but also can be done when we just want something that's flowing and calming and help us to get rid of burden and tension without firing up the agony too much in our system. So if you have knee issues, all of the postures can be done standing. It means you have a more powerful practice, maybe a more challenging practice. But there's no reason why you can't also participate and modify to your own needs and your own, your own needs today, even if it's not every day. You may not feel you want to be on your knees, or you may feel you want a bit more of an energetic practice. So I'm going to come side on. For those of you who are not used to being on your knees but would like to try it out, sometimes it can really stretch the quads, or it can give you a bit too much intense flexion underneath the knees. So it can be handy to either have a cushion or a block, which you can place either under the knees if it's a cushion and it's really soft, or you can place a block on the heels or a book or whatever you've got. It doesn't need to be a specific yoga block, really doesn't, although these are as cheap as chips. I think they're about £5 for two in TK Maxx, and I'm going to keep mine handy because I will use them today. So first of all, whatever your Shashasana is, and if you're standing, you might be leaning against a chair or a worktop because you can't come onto the knees, but or you can come onto your back for child pose. If you come onto your back and draw your knees into the chest, that's as good a child pose, or Shashasana we call it in my tradition, that you're going to get without coming onto the knees. But I'm coming onto my knees, and I'm coming forward with my chin, and I'm just going to let my head hang. And if your head doesn't quite reach the floor, you could have something under the forehead, the Bindu Nadi here, just letting the head rest, so you feel that you can release the shoulders. And just a few breaths here. Notice how the breath fills up into the abdomen, even if you're on your back. Yeah, you can feel that. And just allow yourself a few moments to enjoy. You're going to breathe in, look forward, and stretch the arms forward. Again, you can do this using the back of the chair. So use your feet as your knees, okay? And you can be creative in your own way if you can't come onto knees. Just stretching out here. Now, using your core without disturbing the spine too much, you can come up onto the fingertips and see if you can extend a little more. Just lengthening the backbone. Breathe in here, and just come up onto the knees in a kind of, if you were on your feet, you'd be standing. And breathe out and come back down. Pushing the pelvis back and coming back down really gently. It's a really gentle practice. It will build up a little bit, but not too much. Okay, so I'm breathing in, I'm coming forward here. I'm really enjoying the length in the spine. So I'm releasing a little here on the out breath. I'm breathing in, and I'm coming forward to all fours. I'm tucking my toes. I'm going to keep my knees really bent. I'm breathing out, and then lifting the knees, and I'm coming back. I'm not placing the heels on the floor. I'm keeping my knees bent. Pressing my fingers away, head down.
Soften the neck, don't hold on to the neck. Make sure you're pushing the fingers away and that you have a nice rotation in the upper arms so you have plenty of space. And breathing out to come down. I'm going to look forward and breathe in and flap my feet. And again, I'm breathing out to come back down to Shashasana, rabbit pose, bringing the forearms down, bringing the head down. I'm going to breathe in and come back up to Vajrasana. Okay, so breathing in here, I'm stretching my arms. Breathing out, I'm coming forward. So I really want to lengthen through the arms. Drop the head here. Breathe in, come forward onto all fours. Chatuspadasana. All fours. Breathe out, tuck the toes. Think of lifting the knees, keeping them bent as you send the sit bones up. Pressing from the palms to the sit bones. Knees are deeply bent, belly on the thighs. Breathing in, come forward. Breathing out, come onto the knees. Breathing in, nice dip in the spine, pressing through the fingers. And breathing out, you're coming back. Bring the arms onto the lower back here. One hand on top of the other, head down. Breathe in, come up to sit. And breathe out, you can bring the hands to the thighs. Breathe in, bring your arms up. You're still sitting back on the heels unless you're standing, and do all of this standing if necessary. Breathe out, you're opening to the right side. Now don't go too far because we're just warming up. Okay, when you're in Vajrasana, it can be quite difficult to really twist the spine. Okay, breathing in here and breathing out to the left. Use your exhalation to twist. Breathe in, come up. Breathe out, come forward. You're almost sliding forward. Head comes down. Take a breath here. Breathe in, up you come, all fours. Breathe out, knees up into your Meru Asana. Take the breath here. If you feel like you want to walk the legs up, now that's fine. But you can keep the knees bent. I want the belly on the thighs. I want the sit bones high. Head through the feet. Breathe in, come forward. Breathe out onto the knees. And you can come back down. Arms onto the back. And take a breath. Breathe in, come sitting up straight. I've got a silly top, I've got to keep pulling down, so I don't know why I wore this now. Bring the fingers behind the feet. Maybe you can place the hands on the floor, so your shoulders are rotated up and back. Fingers in front of the toes. If you're standing, I would just put your hands on your hips and do a standing cobra, so you do get the expansion in the chest. Take a few breaths here, chin in and out. Pull the belly back. Breathe in, lift the bottom just a little, we're not going high. And breathe out, bring the bottom back down. Breathe in, bring the arms up. Breathe out, drop your right hand either to the hip or the floor. And then you're going to just have a nice lateral stretch. You can look up or down depending on your neck. Breathe in here, lift the right arm up, really lengthen. Breathe out, left arm down. And you are stretching across to the left, really opening the side ribs because we're going to do some breath work and I really want space there. Breathe in here, come up. Breathe out to the right one more time. Breathe in, come up. And breathe out to the left. And see if you can twist a little more. Must be on the exhalation. Breathe in here. Breathe out, drop the arms.
Breathe in, come up onto the knees in a higher position. Breathe out, see if you can rotate the shoulders up and back without closing the upper chest. And bring the hips forward. Keep the feet engaged with the floor, especially the little toe. Keep it engaged. Chin is in, you're not throwing your head back. Breathe in, come up. And breathe out, come back down. Maybe put the other hand on top now, so you're rotating. See if you can just get the head as close to the floor as possible, maybe towards the knees. Breathe in here, up you come. Breathe out, this time twisting to the right. Go in a little bit deeper. It's easier to twist when you're in the higher position on your knees. Breathe in here. Stretch it up. Keep the feet engaged though. Make sure you feel like the shins are long. So you really feel in your mind that you're extending the shins. Out to the left. Breathe in here. And breathe out. You can sunburst your arms first and then draw them forward as you come into Shirshasana. Okay? And this one is actually extended rabbit, so it's Shashangasana. Okay, drop the head. Breathe in, look forward. Come on to Chaturpadasana. Breathe out, tuck your toes, lift the knees first and then transfer the weight back. You can keep the knees bent. I really want them bent if you can make it, because I want you to get the belly on the thighs and the butt high as you can. Press away through the fingers as though you're pushing the mat away. Palms up to the tailbone. Breathe in, rock forward. Not into plank particularly. We're softening the knees down and you're taking the bottom back. Take a moment here. Ooh, got a ditch. Breathe in, let the forearms stay on the floor if that's where you're practicing, or on the chair. Let the forearms stay on the floor. Pull the hands like they're coming towards you and drag the nose along the floor till it gets to the hands and come up. Then I want you to breathe out and come forward. This is going to be a bit tougher if you're standing. You may just need to adapt and not do cobra posture. Standing cobra is fine, perfect. And then soften to the floor on your belly. Really soften down. Try not to grip the buttocks. Bring the hands slightly forward. Gentle cobra. Feet can be slightly apart, but soften the buttocks. Breathe in here. Roll up. Breathe out. Turn to the right. Breathe in, come forward, pressing through the fingers, remember? So the fingers this time, instead of pushing away, as they do in Merusasana, you want a sense of them coming towards you. They won't move maybe, but you want that sense because they pull the chest forward. Breathing in the middle. Breathe out. Peep back, see if you can see the left foot. Breathe in here. And breathe out, slowly down. Try not to collapse. Try and allow yourself to lower all the way down in a safe position. Allow everything to come to the floor. Hands can come back slightly. Breathe in here. Lift yourself up. And back into your Shashangasana. Okay. Oh, enjoy. Come onto my pad. Enjoy really lengthening the spine. Breathe in, come on up. Left hand comes to left hip, or it might come to the calf. Breathe out. See if you can really have a beautiful, lovely lateral side bend, okay? Breathe in, come up here. Right hand can come to the hip, or it can come to the calf or the floor or maybe your block. Really stretch it. Keep the hips forward. Don't use the lower back, use the quads. Use the feet. I'm really pressing my feet, my little toes coming right into the floor here. Breathe in and bring it forward.
breathe in, tabletop, breathe out, tuck the toes, up you come. You can straighten the feet, legs now if you like to, depending on your practice. Whatever feels good. Take a few breaths here, just really extending. Thinking of the butt coming up, the thighs going back, the fingers pushing away. Shoulders should be comfortable. Rotate the upper arms like this so you're holding some eggs under your arms, as though you're holding eggs under your arms. Breathe in here and bring the right foot forward. You don't have to do anything fancy, just bring it forward however you like to. Now if you're not coming onto knees, you'll be coming in to a high lunge, but you can flap the foot if you don't want to balance, okay? You can flap the foot and do warrior one, it's up to you. I'm going to stretch my left foot really far back and bring the top of above my kneecap to the floor. I'm just going to pause for a moment. I'm going to press both feet into the floor, the back of this foot and the sole of my right foot. I'm pressing it into the floor and I'm coming up. I'm just taking a pause here. I want to be quite upright here for the first few, okay? So as I bring my pelvis back slightly, I feel a nice stretch in the left. And I'm pressing my right foot down and I'm pressing my left foot down. So I really feel I have containment, because there might be a tendency, if you've got really flexible and open hips, to just really put the whole weight and hang out into that stretch, which it might be too much, okay? So we need strength as well as flexibility. So as you lean back slightly, you can feel the stretch in the left. You certainly will if you're on your feet. Okay, so I won't hold you too long. Breathing in here, maybe the hands come together, maybe not, it doesn't matter. I'm just looking forward and breathing out, I come back down. I'm going to tuck my back toe, I'm going to lift my back knee, and I'm going to bring my right foot back up and just have a stretch. Just have a stretch and bring it back down. And reassume your Mervasana. Just take a breath. You can breast bring the left leg up and bring it through. Okay? See if you can really stretch out the right leg and bring it down. Find your spot, look forward, and breathe in and come up. And really feel quite high. I'm not too low, I'm quite high. I'm going to flatten my back foot and bring my hips slightly back. It's just slightly back so I feel that engage. My feet are really pressing into the floor. I really feel it in my feet, okay? So I'm going to breathe in here, bring the arms together, or they could be like this if you have shoulder issues. I'm breathing out. I'm still pushing my feet into the floor. I'm not letting my hips take it all. Then I'm breathing out. I'm coming back down. I'm tucking my toe. I'm lifting my knee. And I'm sending my leg back just for a stretch. I'm bringing it back. I'm breathing in here. I'm dropping my knees. I'm breathing out. And I'm sending my bottom back. And you can bring the hands to the heels if you like to. And just rest one moment. Bring the left hand under the right, head down. Using your core, look forward. Breathe in and come up. Breathe out to the right. Breathe in, come center. Breathe out to the left. Breathe in, come center. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, four-footed. Breathe out, knees up, press back. Breathe in, rock forward, hover a little, hover, hover. Knees can come down, feet flat, and just rest one moment. Breathe in, come up. Breathe out, bring the hands behind. Maybe the fingers are pointing upwards, maybe not.
but I don't want you to close off the upper ribs. Press the hips forward, keep the chin into the sternum. Press them forward here. Breathing in, let the belly fill and rise. Breathe out, pull the belly back and let the upper chest expand, not just the front lungs. Feel the back, so you don't want the elbows closing off the chest. They just need to point backwards really, as opposed to closing. Breathe in here. You're going to bring your right hand to your right hip and over you come, and maybe it comes to the floor. I've got a block here, maybe a book. That can be nice. See if you can really stretch, keep the knees engaged. Breathe in here. And breathe out to the other side. See if you can lengthen from the foot or the knee, however you're practicing, to the fingertips. Really lengthen. Breathe in, come up. All the way up again with the arms and all the way back down to Shashasana. All the way down, head to the floor. Take a couple of breaths here. Breathe in, come back into Vajrasana. All the way up again with the arms, open out to the right. Stretch it now and see if you can keep the knees and the hips. I mean, they will, the hips will go a little bit, but think of it coming from the spine. Okay? Breathing in, the other side. Good. Really lengthen now, really lengthen. Breathing in here and all the way back down. Hands now to all fours. Just bring your hands to all fours. Out you come, up with your knees. And really pressing the mat away, not onto the wrists, pressing away. Head comes down. There is this rotation of the triceps, okay? As though you're holding something under your armpits. Take a couple of breaths here. Breathe in, just bring the right foot forward and bring the left knee down. Just find your position, and I'm up quite high. I'm not sort of lunging yet, okay? So I want to breathe in, come up, and then I am happy to lunge once my feet are engaged. So I'm pressing into the feet. If you don't press into the feet, you will not have the same stability in the pelvic girdle, and that might be very important to you. You might think, oh, I'm flexible, I go all the way down, but is it stable? You can feel as though you want to look up if you like to. Breathe out here. Bring the hand down. This time we're taking a counter stretch, okay? So I'm going to tuck my back toe and I'm bringing the weight of my pelvis back. So my right hip is coming back. I'm going to leave my foot on the floor. I don't want to come back too far. I'm going to bring the heel to come towards me, and then I'm going to put the foot on the floor. So it's all on the floor. If this is too much for the top of the foot, you can just have your toes off the floor. Okay, keep the foot engaged if it's there, or even if it's just the heel, keep it engaged. Look forward and see if you can just melt down a little bit. So you get a stretch at the back of the leg here. But you don't have to go too far down. Breathe in, look forward, and just draw that foot back. And come back into your nice extended child pose. Some people call it head down. Breathe in, look forward. Come forward into all fours. Tuck the toes. Breathe out. And you should be lifting up with a little bit more of a bounce now. Maybe you feel a bit more open. Breathe in. Bring the left foot forward. You don't have to lift it up high to do it. Just however feels good. Right leg down. And I'm just going to breathe in and come up first, okay? And I'm going to really make sure my feet are strong on the floor so I feel stable. I'm squeezing my thighs as though they can come together. So there's containment and there's strength. There's not just flexibility, we need to have strength. All the way back down. I'm going to tuck my back toe and I'm going to draw my left hip back. Now my toes are off the floor at this juncture, okay, which stretches the back of the leg more, and that might be what you need, especially behind my knee I can feel it. But I feel I also want to stretch in the opposite way, so I'm placing my foot on the floor and I'm stretching out the ankle and the top of the foot here. That can be quite nice. Breathe in here. And as you breathe out, suck the abdomen back so you can come a little lower. Have a really nice stretch. Breathe in, look forward. And just draw your knee back to the other one. And you can just come and sit in Vajrasana. Just take a few moments if you have to. If you want to take rabbit pose, child pose, that's fine. That's fine. I just need to make sure I'm on time. That's good. And maybe you feel a little bit more open in the chest now. Maybe there's a bit more going on there for you. And we're going to practice easy camel, which we've done a little bit of with the easy back bend. I will show you now. We're going to breathe in and come up. And we're going to breathe out. We're just going to mobilize the spine a little more and see if we can twist a little more. With the exhalation, breathe in, I come forward. Breathe out, I come to the left. Breathe in, I come forward. Breathe out, I come over to the left. Don't worry if your arm is not completely straight. Feel as though you're breathing into your armpit. That can give you a lot of space. So you're breathing into that left armpit, your upper lungs. And as you breathe out, you can go further. So breathe into the left armpit. And as you breathe out, you can stretch a little further. In a safe way, without upsetting the nervous system. The nervous system is calm when it knows you're in control. Breathe in, coming up. Just let that settle a moment as we do the other side. Breathe in, right arm up. Breathe out. Let the arm curl a little. Don't worry about really straightening it. I want you to feel the space in the armpit. So you can breathe into that space. It helps you extend more, keeps you calm, keeps you stable, lets you know you're in charge. And breathe in, come up. Bottom comes back down. And just a nice extended Shashasana. So, we're using the spine a lot in this practice, in different ways. Rotation and twisting and extension and flexion, all of those things. Healthy spine, so essential, especially as we, well, all the time, but as we get a bit older, the spine can get a bit stiff. Head down. Enjoy. Please breathe in and come up. And we're going to practice camel. You can do this standing. You can do it standing. So I want you to see that the knees are really hip width apart. They're directly under the hips. And I want you to press into the outside of the foot. So the backs of your foot are on the floor, yes? But the outside edge where the little toe is, I really want you to focus on keeping that stable. Obviously the big toe will be pressing into the mat, but think about the little toe, okay? Bring the hips forward, keep this nice and open. We never just throw our heads back. There's so many wonderful things going through the neck, all of the commands from the brain to the body and back, all of the respiratory system, the digestive system, okay? The important arteries that are there. So don't ever just throw it back, okay? We do it carefully and mindfully. So I'm going to draw my chin in. I'm going to really press my hips, or the top of my buttocks there, forward. I'm trying to keep space in my upper lungs, in the front and in the back, okay? I'm pressing my hips forward and I'm squeezing the inner thighs a bit. You can squeeze the buttocks if you like to, because I want to give myself stability without using my lower back. My lower back is not under any pressure really at the moment because I'm using my legs, my feet. Okay, my thighs are squeezing. My breath is nice and even. Now you can breathe in here, and if you feel okay with your eyes open, you can, if you like to, draw the head back. You don't want to squeeze it into the upper back because that stops the space. You want to just let it hang as much as you can. Push the hips forward, push them forward. Breathe in here as you come up and as you come down. Just let yourself recover. Keep the eyes open. Keep the eyes open for a moment, because it can give you a rush of blood to the head. Take a nice stretch forward. Allow the back, so by ensuring that we do forward bends and back bends, and we twist and we do side bends, we are keeping our spine really healthy and happy in all ranges of movement. Okay, we're strengthening and protecting it and encouraging its mobility mindfully and slowly and carefully, and you will grow in strength in the spine. It doesn't, when we get a bit older, and I'm 61 now, obviously we can't hold back the tide. We are mortal beings, we are outside, our bodies change from being babies to being 60 to being 90 or whatever, but we don't have to just degenerate. We can take responsibility for our own health and well-being at any age, Okay, so we're going to finish with a little bit more of a challenging camel posture. Again, if you're standing, you can just do this standing, it's perfectly fine. So breathing in and come up onto the knees. I'm going to tuck my toes because it brings the floor a little closer, okay? So I'm just going to show you first, okay? So I want you to engage those quads and squeeze the inner thighs. So that gives you really feeling of robustness. My feet are tucked, okay? They're tucked. You can't have them flat. If they're flat, really press the toes into the floor. I'm going to breathe in with my right arm, and my left hand is coming to my heel, but I am staying forward. I'm not twisting. I was just showing you where my hand was. So I'm breathing in, my chin is quite down at the moment. And then as I breathe out, I can really bring the arm back if I like to, but my hips are forward, all of it. I breathe in to come up. I bring my right hand behind to my heel, but try not to twist too much here. And I'm going to bring my arm up to breathe in and breathe out. I'm coming back, but I'm pushing my hips forward. I breathe in to come up. So we can try it, okay? I'll come to the view this side first of all. Tuck your toes. If you don't like it, you go back to both hands where you might feel a bit more stability. Tuck the toes here. Breathe in, raise right hand, chin slightly in, left. And then as you're going back, out, breathe in to come up. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Breathe in to come back. You don't like going back, it's a fear thing, so don't come back as far. It's a fear thing going back, we're not used to it. We're just doing one each now, on either side. Breathe in and out. Push the hips forward and up. Let's flatten the feet if they're tucked. Let's open up. And breathing out, come all the way back down. Just allow yourself to lengthen. Maybe you want to come forward in the full balasana pose, which
Don't worry too much about getting the hips above the knees. That's Anahatasana, slightly different. I want you to see if you can just bring the elbows out. Again, you can do this on the chair, but you're standing, just bend the knees and the chest to the floor, right cheek to the floor. Don't worry too much about getting the hips over the knees for this pose. Few breaths with the right cheek on the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. Few breaths with the chest, the left cheek on the floor. Bottom is high, but as I said, for the Balasana in Gittananda tradition, I am not putting my hips above the knees. It's fine to be like this. It's about the breath. Breathe in. Make sure you come in and out of it safely. And back into your observation posture. So whether that's like me, I'm on my knees, or whether you're standing, just take a moment. We're going to come onto the floor onto our backs on the floor, okay? So you can cross your ankles, if you like to. And you can bring your hands behind or your fists and just pop yourself back, or however you like to do it, okay? Doesn't have to be my way, it can be your way. Yoga is DIY. It really is do it yourself. There's no other way to explain it. And just come back and roll onto your back, because we'll be doing a lot of work on the spine, and just tuck the knees in. As I said before, if you can't manage child pose, and it can be difficult to get on your back in a floor, I understand that, but if you feel you want the benefits of child pose, you can bring your knees to your chest while you're on your back. That can be really nice. And just rock from side to side, please. And also bring the hands on top of the knees. I'd like you to rotate, because we've done a lot of work on the back. So rotate the knees using the hands. If you take the hands away, you're working more with the core, but as we're winding down, let's use the hands. And this gives you a really good massage into all parts of the back. It's wonderful. So going in one direction, self-massage, which I think a lot of us have to do these days. I certainly haven't gone and paid for one for a while. And change direction. Just get really deep in there. Beautiful. And before we practice our pranayama, I just want you to stretch out the legs above your hips. Oh, there's someone silly on a motorbike outside my house. So press the hips into the floor, the feet up to the ceiling. Really pressing them up just to lengthen, keeping the sacrum really nice and flat on the floor. We're not relaxing yet. I want to practice some breath work. You could practice the breath work on the floor if you wanted to, lying down, but I just want to show you. Okay, so I will come into my kneeling position. And we're going to practice Anuloma Viloma, which is like a sun, moon, pranayama, breath practice. And I would really urge you to not switch off when it comes to breath practices. It really is the most powerful, effective thing you can do for your health. Okay, in terms of helping breath capacity and lung capacity and all those things, but also it completely changes your whole life when you learn to practice with some mastery of the breath. The breath can control and the energy that comes in and out on the wave of the breath. A friend of mine, I saw her yesterday for a walk, and she's had COVID, and she's my age, we were in school together, long time friend, and she had COVID, I think probably, it's about 3 months ago. And she's never smoked, and she's pretty fit, but her lungs have really suffered. So I'm doing some gentle work with her now to start to rehabilitate. But she's, it's her lungs. So what that means is that
her stamina is not good, so she can't walk or run as fast. Well, she can't run, she can't walk as far as she could, that kind of thing. So that's just a personal story. That it struck me yesterday how important this work is, for lots of reasons which I haven't got time to go into. But you can see my work on YouTube about pranayama. So we're going to do alternate nostril breath. So I just want to invite you to get to know your fingers and how you can open them. So the ring finger and the little finger together, the middle finger and the forefinger together, okay, in the mudra, okay, Vishnu mudra. So I'm going to breathe into one nostril, into the right, and out through the left. Then in through the left and out through the right. The right nostril is Surya, okay, that is the prana, the masculine energy, the energetic energy, and the left nostril, okay, is the moonlit energy, okay, the Chandra energy, the silvery apanic energy, the cooling down energy, in a nutshell. It's a lot more than that, but we can't go into every single detail, okay? So we're breathing in right, out left, we close left, we breathe in left and out right. In right, out left, in left, out right. That's what it is. And as you practice, you will get used to it. So let's bring the little finger and the ring finger onto the left nostril. The other two fingers there, your brow center, okay? Your bindu nadi there in the brow center, the center of your third eye, your intuition, and the thumb. So these fingers will be used for opening and closing. And if I sound a bit nasally, because I'm pressing my nose. So close your eyes and breathe out together. Breathe in right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close right, out left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close left, out right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In right. Close right, out left. In left. Close left, out right. In right. Close right, out left. In left. Close left, out right. In right. Close right, out left. In left. Close left, out right. In right. Close right, out left. In left. Close left, out right. Last round. In right. Close right, out left. In left. Close left, out right. All the way out. release your hand, release your arm. Palms down on the thighs, eyes closed. And just notice. Slowly blink the eyes open. Now that pranayama is very balancing because it's bringing in the prana in through the right nostril and out with the feminine energy, the apanic energy, out through the left, then in through the left and out through the right. So it's a real balancing practice. It's making sure we have enough of both energies coming into the system, because so often we are living here. You know, we're in this frantic energy, this energy that maybe just spirals out of control, and we need to balance it. We need to come back to our center, back into balance, back into unity. And this practice, even if you didn't have time to do your physical practice other than some shaking and warming up, will bring you a lot of peace. It'll bring you peace of mind. It'll bring you into a state of serenity. So it's not just about getting air or oxygen into your lungs, although that's very welcome. We need to stay alive. From the first breath we take to the last breath we exhale. We need our oxygen, but there's a lot more to it than that, and I invite you to check that out on my YouTube channel and practice 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes a day. It could save your life, and it could save your life not just in a mortal way, you know, but you know, it can bring you a lot of peace of mind.